Good morning, UPBOptionMillionaires.com. It's 1:20 a.m. Normally I do my morning market videos at 7 or 8 a.m. in the morning. Let's just say that futures are going to remain at these lofty levels, if not higher. This is the all-time high we hit on Friday at the jobs report. We pulled back and have been pulling back ever since. We hit this low this morning and rocketed higher. This is a nice bull flag. Looking really good for more gains here. I'm actually looking for a move down to the 185 level on the SPY, but I'll get into that in a little bit. A lot of this move here, we're up a third of a percent here pre-market, and hopefully 6-7 hours from now, you bulls will get that continuation, is on the heels of the Aussie, which is rocketing higher on a jobs report. Actually, the Australian stock market closed up 0.5%. So you see this rapid move we had to the upside on a jobs report, one of the strongest jobs report that they've had in a long time, and it looks like it's going to continue to the upside. The Aussie dollar cross was at 1.1, so we've got 2,000 pips to go before we break that high that we saw a couple years ago. All right, so let's get into some stocks. We have earnings reports out this morning. Dollar General, GoGo, and Plug. And if you look at Plug, let me just bring up eBay while I have it here. And you can see it's come back to support here, this long-term channel. Actually, its Carl Icahn did not have that good of a day. We had HLF pulling back, and here, even though eBay's up, looking for a move over 60, but just not happening. Let me just see if I can pull in to get that support line in there. Not sure why it's not showing up, but there it is. So we're right at support. So that's eBay, but let's look at Dollar General and cut in a little bit here. And Dollar General has been pulling back. You can almost make the case here for some sort of a cup and handle formation. And we had Dollar Tree. So we had Dollar General reporting earnings before the bell tomorrow, or this morning. We had Dollar Tree report earnings. To me, this looks like a nice consolidation. You can almost say even a bull flag, and that we're going to make the move up to the $63 level. Right up here is where we're going to be resistance. So, but of course, you had to be in the trade right now, unless you're a perfect trader. There's no way you could have bought the options right now at 1:25 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. Then we have GoGo reporting earnings. This is another stock at $35. Seems to be coiling over, but we'll see. And then Plug Power. That's going to be really interesting to see where it heads. Yeah, that's a pretty ugly candle. But the stock was trading in, go back to August to 42 cents. November, 60 cents. And then start of 2014, $1. And then suddenly just out of nowhere. Because, of course, with every central bank printing money, when the investors see nowhere else to put their money, meaning all these stocks have already, they're representing their price per earnings and their earnings growth, they put it in momentum stocks. It's a casino now. Anyway, you can see the pullback, but let's see if this is validated on earnings this morning before the bell. And then after the bell, we have Aeropostale, which is well below long-term support resistance. Just pull in a 5-year chart, you can just see just how beaten down it is. I think when an analyst came out recently and just upgraded stock, pretty wild, but I could see a move up to this $10 level, absolutely, but I don't think it's going to break that. No. And then Ulta after the bell as well. This is a stock I'm looking at. I think to get some calls. I'll let you know in the chat room at optionmillionaires.com. It bumped up against support. Now you could almost say this pullback. This is a 10-year monthly, so there's monthly candles. You can almost say on a monthly basis, this is a bear flag. This is the flagpole. This is the flag, and we're going to continue to the downside. Quite possible, but if you look from a shorter term perspective, looks like we're bouncing off support and that we want to fill this gap down. So it's kind of an ambiguous. It might be a time maybe to buy a little bit more of, for instance, I'll buy the 110 calls, which are going to be really cheap. And then I'll buy a couple puts just for protection in case we get that collapse. This morning, when the market opened, I talked about this stock and alerted it on the blog at optionmillionaires.com and in private Twitter. Wynn Resorts had broken long-term the support line here, the trend line, and I was looking for a move down to 235 level. We got pretty close today, pretty close if you look from a shorter term perspective. Got down to 236 before bouncing, and you can see how when I was looking at this trade, each time we just could not break this formally support significant resistance line now. I was in the 237.50 puts. I got out of those, and I put those up. Also, Las Vegas Sands. Las Vegas Sands pulled back, recovered some of its losses, and you can see the sharp decline at the open, and then the bounce. So that's, when you're trading puts in this market, you got to be nimble. Nimble. Anyway, I posted my trade. The minute we started to decline here, we pulled back up, and we declined again. I was like, I got to get out of this. I got to. So I sold all my Las Vegas Sands puts, and sure enough, we bounced and kind of forming a nice pennant here if you can draw some trend lines. Anyway, just a nice pullback. That's what I was looking for. That's a 100% what I was looking for. Those win puts, I bought at 90. I sold at 3. The Las Vegas Sands puts, I bought for 75. I sold at 230. That's it. Done. Who cares what it does from here on out? Looked at the chart, thought it was going to pull back, and it did. HLF. Gosh, I was itching. I'm always itching to buy puts in this stock, but you can see the FTC investigation. We were halted midday. I'd almost call me crazy. Well, you could almost say this is a head and shoulders intraday pattern, but I don't know. It just feels like another bear trap where we're just going to ramp higher, and the people are in the stock. I mean, so many big investors already own it. A lot of the float's already locked up. Why not manipulate it even further? It's going to take over a year for the FTC to come to any kind of conclusion. So while some investors might flee this trade, it might be just another opportunity to squeeze Bill Ackman, but we'll see what goes on from there. And same with Nuss. Nuss was halted today. New Skin Enterprises. This is a stock I was pointing out back at the start of January that was poised for a significant decline, and we got it right there at resistance. I brought it up at the blog. This is a private Twitter tweet at 70 cents. Those went to $60 from 70 cents, the 130 puts. So just a spectacular trade. That's what we do. When we do it big. So anyway, yeah, I got the 130 puts, and I alerted them. Actually, the price that I alerted them at was at 55 cents. I was in at 70 cents. So you could have bought 10 of them for $550 and sold them a couple days later for 60 grand, 66 grand. Who's counting? Anyway, it's kind of bouncing along here, but to me, looks like it wants to continue the plunge. Continue the plunge. Call. A heck of a call by JB at optionmillionaires.com. Been behind the stock for a long time. Looked maybe like it double topped, but oh no! We're looking at new 52-week multi-year highs here. Pre-market, this stock is soaring. Massive short interest. This is going to lend to the explosive nature of the move to the upside. JB called it. Congratulations, JB. The guy is amazing. U.S. Steel. I'm just bringing it up because U.S. Steel is putting in, to me, a really nice topping pattern here. You'd almost say a head and shoulders. That's a left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And I'm looking for continued weakness here. U.S. Steel, I'm going to probably get into some puts. We'll see if the market opens higher tomorrow and U.S. Steel heads up to this 25.50 area, which I'd love to see. I would be buying the puts. I might be just play it safe and buy puts for next week, but I'll let you know in the chat room at optionmillionaires.com. How about GDX? Gold. Gold has been flying off the shelves recently, right? Look at the move up. We're right at resistance. We're up, though, pre-market, so we'll see where it heads from here, but I would not completely rule out a pullback here. GDX coming up, I'd say, all right, the $28 level, again, remains resistance. Let's go to Google and Apple before we wrap it up here. Google remains. Just pull a trend up. You can't mess with this guy. Back over to $1,200 level. Unless you're buying some short-term calls, don't touch it. And then Apple looks to be consolidating here after the move up to the 570 level. I would not be surprised to see it break out to the 560 level from here. We're always waiting for that Apple candle. And when it's trading its most quiet and mundanest, if that's even a word, mundanest, that's when you expect the big candle to come. So I would not be surprised to see a nice big candle up to that 560 level. UPBOptionMillionaires.com. I'm also in some Facebook puts. Yeah. The Facebook remains below this trend line. I'm trying to get this out of the way. Come on. But anyway, I'm in the puts. Well, we'll see what happens. Just calling for a pullback. All right, UPB here, OptionMillionaires.com. The market remains on cruise control. But if we do indeed pull back, we first look at this 185 level. And then this trend line support here, if you bring this all the way across at the 179 level. UPB, all right. Everyone have a good trading session. And I'll see you in the chat room. Goodbye.